What's going on, Libra? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for February 2024. So in this reading, Libra, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for February. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you, and so much more regarding February 2024. So before we begin this reading, Libra, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading, and I really do appreciate you in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. Now, if this general reading does resonate with you, Libra, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that over here. So without further ado, I'm going to pull the energy for you, and we'll see what's coming your way for February, for the rest of February 2024, Libra. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this active divination for the sign of Libra. Hold on. Let's go ahead and see what we got going on here, Libra. It definitely looks like an interesting bipolar month as usual. I'm just kidding. But I do actually sense a little bit of, you really having to go back and forth with a big decision having to do with commitment in your life. So we'll get into it in a moment here, Libra. Overall, I do feel like it's gonna be a very passionate month of slow, steady progress, but it's all leading you to this point, to the end of February, where there needs to be a big choice, I'm telling you, for the end of February. So I'm letting you off the hook a little bit. From now, when you're listening to this until the end of February, there's something that you're going to be reasoning with, contemplating. Do I do it this way? Do I not do it the other way? But it's very much so having to do with you. So before we get into the tarot, let's go ahead and start this reading with some pre-shuffled oracle cards. And these oracle cards contain the energy that you need more of, that you need to embody more of for your own highest good and for the highest good of all in February, for the rest of February. The first energy is Lilith. And Lilith has to do with your taboo side, your dark side, and wild femininity. And so in some sort of way, I really feel like this is you being honest with yourself, with your true desires, with things which may be considered taboo by society at large, but may also be considered taboo by your own programming in whatever way. So the mythology of Lilith, Libra, is that she was Adam's first wife in the Garden of Eden. But because she refused to submit to his masculine subjugation and to his domination, she decided to leave Adam and leave the Garden of Eden because she was not willing to compromise her own wild femininity. All right. And so this is the energy that you need more of. And so for a lot of you here, I really feel like there is a big commitment on the table for you. But there's something here about integrating your dark side, your taboo side, and how is this going to fit into commitment going forward, and what is authentic versus what is just maybe lashing out a little bit too far. And so with Lilith here, it's definitely important for you to look at the ways that you deal with conflict resolution as well, because the way that Lilith is placed in your chart has to do with how you deal with conflict resolution. And when Lilith is negatively kind of aspected in your personal chart, it doesn't matter if you know what it is or not, but there's something here about the way in which you deal with a conflict situation and making sure that it's, you're honoring yourself, you're honoring your dark side, you're honoring your true desires, but it's not to the point of maybe something that hurts other people or something like that. So Lilith is the first energy you need. Now, Lilith also has to do with sexuality as well. So this could be a theme that you're really kind of struggling with, or what you need to really be more so thinking about. And this is not being afraid of being the black sheep, because this could really be applied to many different areas of your life. But Lilith is the one that is cast out, the one that is viewed as bad, but it doesn't have to be this way. Now, the next energy that you need more of is the first house of self and identity, or the physical body. And so this is an interesting combination, Lilith to the first house. This is really you focusing on your own personal dark side, but how you project it, how you present it to other people. Now, the ironic thing about this, I laughed when I did this oracle, when I pulled these cards, because I have Lilith in my first house conjunct the ascendant at 29 degrees of Virgo. But other people with Lilith at 29 degrees, for example, is Kim Kardashian, Jake Paul, me, and anyone with Lilith at 29 degrees will have this like ultimate magnetism. And what I'm saying for you, and because you're talking to someone with Lilith at 29 degrees, I don't know, maybe I know what I'm talking about, maybe I don't. But this is definitely about you focusing on your own personal magnetism and your own, not being afraid to be seen as bad. Because the first step in authenticity, which I see that you're taking this month, because you have the Queen of Wands to the Knight of Pentacles, which is about slowly, but surely putting one foot in front of the other in the direction of authenticity, but not too fast. And so Lilith in the first house is like how it's about you developing your own authentic dark side, okay? But maybe in a way that is you need to really reason with yourself and figure it out. However, I wouldn't be afraid of it, because here's the thing. The next energy you need more of is Aquarius, which is the visionary, which has to do with the future. And Aquarius is the water bearer. So there's definitely something to do with community as well. You could be interacting with people who also freely express their Lilith energy. Well, you're actually doing that right now. But this is definitely the energy that you need more of. And Aquarius is the energy that's not really concerned about the past. What is my auntie gonna think about this, etc. It's more so concerned with what is how do I want to present myself in the future. So definitely these are going to be things that you're going to be thinking about. So my phone is actually ringing and I'm just going to ignore it. So let's just continue the reading. So with that being said, it seems like you're going to be focusing on you. However, your opportunity for the rest of February 2024 is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is very much so a card of law and order. And so intuitively, what I feel, first of all, is you looking at your relationship to orthodoxy and the way of the day. Because Lilith is someone who challenges the establishment based on their own personal magneticism. And the Hierophant has to do with keeping things as they are. It's the bridge between the spiritual and the physical world. But it also has to do with commitment and being a religious leader, perhaps, but it also has to do with marriage and a serious commitment. So on the one hand, looking at how tradition, because the Hierophant has to do with traditions, is holding you back from expressing your raw, authentic side. And I feel like I'm not just telling you to go on a rampage and start being like one of these weird, obviously low vibrational people in the streets that are protesting like, yeah! That's not Lilith energy. That is demon energy. That's not what Lilith energy is, and people really can mix it up. But what I'm saying is there's definitely something about orthodoxy. Now, here's the thing. The Hierophant has to do with a committed relationship, and I do feel like this is on the horizon for you, but I feel like what Spirit is advising you to do is to really get in tune with your own taboo side, your own desires that may not be well received by someone that you're going to be in a relationship with, or this could even be to the way that you project yourself, especially for some of you that are, involved in spiritual work and you want to kind of be perceived as an authority. These could be themes of, your Lilith energy is kind of getting in the way of it, or it's just something that you need to work out within yourself. Because here's the thing. Hierophant, if you look at the Pope, okay, for example, if you look at someone who completely rejects their own Lilith energy, right? What happens? We get people who are, if you go to the Vatican, if you go to like Rome and you hear about the horrible stories of the priests doing things to children, etc., you see, I feel like your opportunity is to look at what darkness can come if you repress your darkness is usually worse than... It's like if you repress something, the outcome will be worse than trying to figure out a conscious way to express the dark side, the Lilith energy, right? So there's definitely something about looking at tradition and maybe seeing through the BS, seeing through the contradiction, and maybe realizing I need to do something different to bring more authenticity, first of all, to myself. But there's definitely something about a relationship coming in for you and you having to make a really big choice about a romantic relationship, Libra, by the end of February. But this is the energy that you need to integrate in yourself first. And Aquarius is the energy that you need more of. And Aquarius is not afraid to be weird. Aquarius is not afraid. The frequency of Aquarius is that Aquarius treats the Hierophant the same as the hobo on the street. Aquarius doesn't recognize the difference between people's hierarchy power. So maybe like looking at all these themes, your challenge to the star, ironically, is Aquarius energy. But the star has to do with wish fulfillment and healing, regeneration. And, this could definitely be regenerating your own Lilith energy within the confines of a relationship or within the confines of a committed relationship. How do I express this? How do I express my dark side within a relationship without letting relationships fall apart? This could be something that you're working on as well, I do feel intuitively. And some of you with your challenge to be the star and the opportunity being the Hierophant, there could be something about you healing some sort of commitment that you made to yourself or that you made in some sort of way. It's not going to be for all of you, but there's definitely something going on there. So with that being said, we're going to clarify that in a minute. Let's go ahead and move to your overall general energy. Your overall general energy is definitely you taking slow steps in the direction of your own authenticity. You have the Queen of Wands here, you have the Knight of Pentacles, and you have the Two of Wands. And so this is, once again, like I said, slow, one step in the direction of your own authenticity and really learning to be authentic, okay? The Knight of Pentacles is slow-moving, reliable energy, so I'm not telling you to be one of these weirdos in the street. No, that's not Lilith energy, that's demon energy. Lilith, people perceive Lilith as demon energy, but it's not. And then you have the Two of Wands, which is about a choice. Okay, you have a risky option in front of you, and you have a safer option behind you. And I really feel like there's something about a relationship coming up towards the end of the month, towards the end of February, that is going to be really important for you to choose. Am I going to commit to this person or not? But first, you need to work something out within yourself. And it has to do with these maybe, exile and loneliness. Because I do feel like there's something about the Hierophant. It's like, maybe you have a dark side that you feel, if I were to express this dark side, all it would lead to is exile and loneliness. But I could tell you in my experience that nothing could be further from the truth. And it's all how you define it in your own consciousness. So looking at how social conditioning is limiting you. But however, let's continue. In what you don't see coming, Libra, for the rest of February, for February in general, you have the Knight of Wands, the Two of Swords, and also the Emperor here. All right, and so some of you here definitely, it might be along the lines of Lilith, in what you don't see coming. This could be refusal to submit to toxic masculinity, and you deciding, you know what, that I don't know what that energy is, but I'm just gonna go on my own. And maybe for some of you that's definitely the right move, because the Knight of Wands is an exploratory energy. The Two of Swords is definitely an energy of being like, nope, I'm not going to deal with that. And the Emperor obviously has to do with a king or a very masculine kind of energy here. Okay. Now, an interesting message for the male Libras out there: you may need to explore your you may need to explore your feminine side, and there may be, for some of the male Libras out there, there could be a refusal to do this and what you don't see coming, but more so for the feminine Libras, and for the feminine it could be as well. Take it as it resonates, leave what doesn't. But there also could be this decision that you make, Libra, and a lot of you women out there, this relationship, this Emperor doesn't necessarily have to be a man. It could just be someone controlling. It could be a girl, a friend that's a girl that you have that's controlling you. Anyone who tries to control you, like Adam in the Garden of Eden. I'm only going to have sex with you if you bottom. And that's just one example. That's not what Lilith energy is all about, folks. Okay, so please don't go into black and white thinking. But I do feel like for a lot of you out there, there's someone that you're not going to allow to control you anymore in what you don't see coming. And there's something about you exploring yourself, but make sure that you are not the one controlling yourself via... It's much easier with the opportunity, the Hierophant. The first thing that came through is you need to look at your relationship to the culturescape and tradition and how it's all controlling you. And it's much easier for you to police yourself than for someone to police you. So, for example, it's much easier for you to like just deny, repress this Lilith side than for you to try to express it and then you get met with opposition, or you get met with, oh, get out of the Garden of Eden. What's more painful? The less painful thing is probably just to try to repress it. The more painful thing would be to take a chance, be vulnerable, this Lilith energy. It's going to be different for every single Libra listening to this, by the way, and then get rejected as a result. But what I'm telling you is that I'm really happy you stayed to this point in the reading. Vibrationally speaking, it is impossible for anyone to reject you. You can only reject yourself. Then, as a vibrational resonance, you will attract people that reject you. So I feel that there's an element to your dark side, your sexual side, something, Lilith energy, look it up, Google it, that you are rejecting in you, that then you're going to meet as a reflection in someone else rejecting you, but it's really you rejecting you first, and then you're meeting that reflection in the outside world. So there's definitely something here about you integrating this and realizing that that if you accept yourself, it may not happen overnight, but because the law of attraction is like a slow, delayed mirror, but as you accept yourself, you're going to attract people that also accept you. No matter what it is. I eat toenails for breakfast. I'm in. You got to do something. But here's the thing. It's going to be a slow build because, once again, your overall general energy, the Knight of Pentacles, slow-moving energy to the Queen of Wands, authenticity. So don't be in a rush here. Once again, like I said, you have a lot of wiggle room. I just feel like for you, the end of February is a very... Whatever you decide to do at the end of February is going to really shape the rest of your 2024. And let's just continue. And for a lot of you as well, you know, there could just be the culturescape refusing to allow you to explore yourself. Because the Knight of Wands is an energy of exploration and fun. The Two of Swords is saying no. And you hear someone speeding on their big truck, and you have the big truck energy of the Emperor being like, no, Lilith. So I don't know. There's something about that. Now, here's where it gets like Spirit is sending you yellow energy again in a good way. In your advice, you have the Magician, you have the Four of Wands, and you also have the Queen of Pentacles here. So I feel like this is Spirit is just saying, like, no matter what you have going on, it's all going to be okay. You know, the Magician has to do with spiritual energy and potential. The Four of Wands has to do with soul family or a rite of passage or a celebration. And the Queen of Pentacles has to do with an earthy woman. So maybe someone who is taking care of their physical health, maybe someone who is taking their finances more seriously, their business, and someone who can help others grow in the physical world. So this is your advice from Spirit, really focusing on, first of all, you, right? The Queen of Pentacles is very much so an earthy self energy. And I feel like this is, you know, to develop your own potential in the physical world. Once again, first house energy, even though it's technically fire energy. this is what I feel, a combination of earth and fire. That's what you have in the overall general energy. That's also what you have in the advice. How do I translate the true frequency of my spirit into my physical body? Because I sense that a certain element of your spirit is compartmentalized and it needs to come back into whole integration. So let's go ahead and start clarifying this reading. So let's go ahead and clarify why the Hierophant is here in your opportunity. Oh. Well, that's interesting. I mean, just popping out, the Hierophant is clarified by the Empress, the Ace of Swords, and the Six of Cups. That could be like some sort of past life relationship thing coming up. But here's the thing that first came out. The Hierophant is clarified firstly by the Knight of Swords and also the Nine of Pentacles in reverse as your opportunity here. So this is definitely looking at how society or how some sort of tradition is making you independent, but in a wrong way, or like limiting your independence. The Nine of Pentacles, I would argue that the Nine of Pentacles is similar to Lilith energy, because she's like this. Look, I got fired from my job. I got kicked out of my house because I'm Lilith. Okay, I'm just gonna go create my own empire then. Look at her. She doesn't care. She's with the birds. She's infinitely abundant. Because it's in reverse, though, in your opportunity, I really feel like it's like analyzing what is preventing you from creating that frequency, and I guarantee you it's the Lilith to the first house to the Aquarius thing. And so maybe there's an opportunity to really quickly, even though I'm saying go slow, to quickly restore something. Now, for others of you, it has to do with something much deeper, though. And you have the Six of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Empress. I mean, this is a very powerful frequency of truth, abundance, and the past. So maybe looking at your relationships, how you're related to them. I don't know. I'm not really connecting to it fully, but please use your intuition as to how it relates to you. Now, I do want to clarify why the Star is your challenge. All right. Why is the Star your challenge? All right. Someone is calling me, and I'm going to say, stop freaking calling me right now. Thank you. Sorry about that. Ugh. Let's clarify why the Star is your challenge. You know, I do feel like that frequency, that whenever you're dealing with healing, like integrating the Lilith energy into you, or whether it's Lilith energy or just authenticity, it's about, you know, how do we sort through illusion and not take it too far? Because once again, you know, how many people who are idiots have read a passage about Lilith, and all it does is reinforce their crappy philosophies. All it does is reinforce their crappy political beliefs, and they go out into a protest and they're like, Lilith! It has nothing to do with Lilith. And so, for example, that's just one example that came to my head. And so for you, it's all about saying, yes, I need to integrate wild femininity into myself and my identity, but we need to make sure that it's not gone too far, or we need to make sure that it's not going to lead to a further illusion. And so that's why it's all about going slow with this and being gentle with yourself and taking your own time, because there's definitely healing to disillusionment. You know what I mean? And so whatever this has to do with, it will have to do with you. I do want to clarify why the two of, because this card really stood out to me about the end of the month. So let's clarify what the two, like, what is this choice about? Why is the Two of Wands here Libra, in your overall general energy, but I feel like this choice is going to really be pressing on you at the end of the month. Ooh. Two of Swords. Three of Swords, Star, Fool, Ace of Wands in reverse. Eight of Cups, Chariot. I don't know. This is definitely something to where, once again, the two of Wands clarified by the Two of Swords and the Ace of Wands in reverse. The Ace of Wands in reverse is like all about like a false start. It could have to do with, something starting really quickly and ending just as quickly, but the Two of Swords is all about denial as well. So make sure that you're not making a choice in life. I'm just going to commit to this person, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this option. I'm going to go down this, because the Two of Wands is all about a fork in the road. It's like you can go down this path or this path. Make sure that you're not just making a choice as the result of you repressing your natural inclinations, because the Two of Swords to the Ace of Wands in reverse obviously is like, it has to do with someone repressing their natural flow. So once again, I feel like it's going to be different things for different Libras. You must use your intuition. But some of you, in what you don't see coming, you're going to be disconnecting from a masculine energy who's trying to control you. But for others of you, it has nothing to do with anyone else. And it's more so conditioning and you needing to be in control that is making you not even consider what it is that would really fill up your soul and really help you fulfill your potential in this life. So listen, this is what I got for you for February. I think you're going to have a actually really decent February, but these are just the themes that are underlying the surface. So with that being said, pay really close attention to what you got going on at the end of February. I feel like that's the most important thing. But mainly it's a month of developing your own potential here. And make sure you focus on you with that first house, self and identity. So with that being said, Libra, I appreciate you. I hope this helped you, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.